Swamp Thing is set to debut on DC Universe soon, so let's take a look at one of the hero's best enemies, the Floronic Man. Originally, the Floronic Man was an exile from an interdimensional world of dryads named Jason Woodrue. Using his advanced knowledge of botany, he would become the villain known as Plant Master, and intend to rule the world with plants. What else? He would battle the likes of the Atom, and later, even the Justice League of America, alongside several other DC villains. In a short Green Lantern story among the pages of The Flash number 245 from November of 1976 entitled The Perilous Plan of the Plant Master, Woodrue would drink an experimental formula he had created to increase his power over plant life. Woodrue would transform into a plant-human hybrid and rename himself Floronic Man. He would demonstrate his new abilities to the Green Lantern, but would be defeated when the hero turned the moisture around him into ice with his ring. How he did this, I have no clue. Floronic Man debuted as an enemy of the Swamp Thing in issue 21 of Saga of the Swamp Thing in February of 1984. In it, Woodrue is hired by General Avery Sunderland to determine how scientist Alec Holland had transformed into a swamp creature. Dissolving his artificial skin, he reveals himself as the Floronic Man and begins right away. Performing a dissection of Swamp Thing's frozen body, he learns that the being is in fact mutated plant life that had bonded with Holland's remains after his accident, absorbing his knowledge and memories in the process. Woodrue grows increasingly more insane and begins eating parts of Swamp Thing's body in the hopes of contacting the Green, the combined life force and energy of all plant life on Earth. Floronic Man then goes on a rampage and intends to save the planet from mankind, who is destroying it. Woodrue is confronted by a revived Swamp Thing, who he believes is a traitor. Swamp Thing, however, in all his lovable wisdom, makes Woodrue come to the realization that he is in fact a man, something he continuously refused to believe. All the destruction and violence he caused was an act of man, not something the Green would do. Woodrue is sick, a poison to the Earth and to the Green. Floronic Man falls into madness, and despite trying to cover himself up with more artificial skin, accepting his humanity, members of the Justice League, Superman, and Green Lantern take him into custody. Floronic Man would later appear in Batman Shadow of the Bat number 56, where he breaks Poison Ivy out of Arkham Asylum in the hopes of using some of her DNA to create a child. In return, Ivy will get $10 million. Woodrue explains that he had been decapitated by Swamp Thing in their last battle, and was left as only a head. He came in contact with marijuana being grown in the same lab, and after regenerating his body, decides to form a drug empire of cheap weed. Poison Ivy turns on him though, and helps Batman. As the Dark Knight and Floronic Man fight, the villain stands in a puddle of water which Batman electrifies, before decapitating him yet again. In DC's New 52, their 2011 reboot of their universe, Floronic Man is introduced once again, now known as the Cedar. Woodrue finds the Parliament of Trees, a group of plant elementals that protect the Earth's plant life, and begs them to grant him the position of Avatar. They refuse, but believe he may be useful in other ways. They order him to save Alec Holland, and in return, he asks for some of their power. He eventually confronts Swamp Thing, and the Parliament of Trees decide that Woodrue and Holland must fight for the title of Champion of the Green. At this point, Floronic Man's powers revolve around the usage of seeds, hence the new name, Cedar. Woodrue would end up winning the fight and temporarily becoming the Champion of the Green, though his usage of the power is, well, not ideal. Swamp Thing returns and battles him again, taking the title back and nearly killing Woodrue in the process, though Holland places him deep within the Green to save his life. How thoughtful of him. This goes without saying, but the character of Jason Woodrue has evolved a lot over the years as a character. He has had many different names, from Plant Master to Floro, Floronic Man, and more recently, the Cedar. I think all versions of this character have been interesting in their own ways. The one found in the New 52 was able to provide us with a new twist to his plant-based powers, involving the usage of seeds, which was cool. I also enjoyed his slow transformation as the story progressed, becoming more and more plant-like as it went on. The most notable and popular version of the character, though, would arguably be the one found in Alan Moore's relaunch of the Swamp Thing series in the 1980s. That version was bizarre, scary at times, and downright insane by the end. Even his artificial skin is unsettling, a way for him to hide his darker self. Most incarnations of the Floronic Man character have been in the pursuit of power in some way, and usually depict him out of his mind. Though his abilities have tweaked over the years, they have always involved the manipulation of plants, which I feel has a lot of creative potential. As a villain, Floronic Man is one of the best foils Swamp Thing has. In many ways, Jason Woodrue is similar to Alec Holland because they both have power over plant life. They command the same elements. Woodrue, however, is far more ruthless and unpredictable, similar to the likes of the Joker or Carnage from Marvel in some instances, and brings about an imbalance to the green. He reinforces the peaceful nature of Swamp Thing and his vastly superior wisdom over that of Woodrue. What do you guys think of the Floronic Man? Let me know in the comments section down below. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to share it to anyone you know who enjoys superheroes or even superhero movies. It helped me out a bunch. Make sure to subscribe to the channel to be notified of all future content I release, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.